Hi, fellow traders. I hope everybody's having a great weekend. I'm going to quickly recap my trades from Friday. I only had two trades. One I really botched up and, made a classic mistake and wanted to share that with everybody. And then, had an okay trade on the top reversal that just, the market was just crazy yesterday and a lot of things just didn't work like they normally work. But I just want to share those with you. My first trade, EQT, this was one of the ones on my watch, the only one I traded off my watch from the morning. And what I was looking for this to do, like I explained before, I'm going to have my watch list done by like 9 o'clock. And then at 9, I'm going to watch what it does the last 30 minutes in the open. So I was expecting this to come back, hold this level, above the VWAP, and give me a long trade back up toward this level here. That was my expectation from the open. But, this kind of washed out, right before open. This open here did give me a push up, but then quickly sold back off. And, this candle open here, and it gave me an entry opportunity right here, risking on the VWAP. And this was a no trade because of, I'm halfway in this window. And if I was going to trade, I needed to get this whole window from 59.46, 58.93. This is, barely 50 cents. And if I'm halfway, that's only 25 cents. So this really was a no trade. But for some reason, I felt I had to trade. I don't know what made me, want to do that. But I ended up taking this, anticipating the break or the loss of support here. And when you take a short trade, I know with me, my rule is if I'm going short, I'm going to short something surging into resistance. It only makes sense. I could trade it surging into resistance, risking on that resistance, and that gives me a nice tight stop, and it gives me, a good confidence that that trade's going to work. If it's rejecting the level, then you're going to expect it to come back down and at least give you an opportunity to make some money. This just didn't make sense. This could have lost support and ran down, but that's not the setup I like. That's not what I'm looking for. That's not the high odds trade that I need. If you have a small account, you can't trade these high risk trades. You've got to find the solid trades based on support or resistance and based on the high probability setups, like surging into resistance, not just losing it. Because you're going to get a better move and you're going to get a tighter stop, and it's going to keep your risk tolerance in check. So if you do lose on the trade, you're not going to lose a whole lot of money. And, just one of those things where, if I was going to trade anything here, I needed to go long. And you can see that was the trade. Off of here, take it long, back up to here 1 point. And then I could have shorted it based on it, surging into this resistance and then probably taking it short. But, that's why I go back through my trades. That's why I go back and reflect, and I can see this now and I can be aware of it. It's one of these things where I'm going to be aware of it for the next several weeks. In a few weeks, I may not be aware of it and take another trade like this again. I mean, that's just the nature of trading. It's going to happen. And you just have to, if you're prepared and you follow your plan, stick to your stops, and then go back and review your trades that night, then you're going to find things. You're going to be able to point out mistakes that you made. So, and that's pretty much what I did on this. All right, my next trade was HCN, and this was obviously a top reversal. Here you go, you got almost a parabolic move surging into this resistance. And I think I caught it. I'm not sure if I caught it surging into this one or was it already over. But I'm looking for resistance for it to surge into so that I can get short based on that resistance and then, possibly take the first move. And again, with a small account and I'm trying to grow it, I need to grow and I need to make money to live off of. I'm going to take profit at the first logical spot. And this is going to be the 9 right here. But unfortunately, I got spooked out, which was a good thing because this thing never did touch the 9 again, this low. I went ahead and took some profit here. This was still a bad entry because I really needed it closer to this. I had an order out for 95 and 59.95, but it didn't hit. And then I turned around and, got in here. I've just been kind of shooting myself in the foot. I should have been starting to get in this, at 90 and, maybe added over that. But I just went in, with everything and, took off half here. So I started this with 1,600 shares, took off 8 here, just didn't wait till it got to the 9. I just kind of took it off because I wanted to book some profits. I had a loss. I wanted to get in the green. And I was thinking that now my stop's going to be break even on this. But as this was going, and I said, well, let me let it test this level here, really 65. I was going to let it test 65 and then kind of see where I was at. I was only in 800 shares and, giving it 20 cents or so wasn't going to be that big of a deal. And then if it failed to push it, I could get short. So I can add to my position. So it surged into this whole number, 60. This held. And so I got short. I added to my short here, 59.95. And I brought my average up to 59.88. And I was back in full size. And my goal was to just kind of hold it to see what it was going to do. As long as this thing didn't push above the 9, I was fine. And my goal was to get out at break even if need be. So I did take half off here, or actually took 3/4 of my position off here. And I only left a quarter on to see if I was going to get VWAP. But I took it off here at the 9. And again, I'm using strategic points to take profit because moving averages can act as support. And oftentimes these tickers, just like here, come down and bounce off it or ride it up. You've got institutional traders that, they have algorithms that use the 9, the 20, the VWAP. And that's why you see when you have tickers hitting that indicator, that level 2 starts to go crazy and starts doing things. And that lets you know that there's a lot of activity sitting around the 9, sitting around the 20, sitting around the VWAP. So, that's why I take my profit at these points. And had I not really taken it and just kind of waited to see if this thing was either going to work or not, I could have ended up losing more money. Because you never know what's going to happen. You never know what's being manipulated in the market. So you need to take profit when you got it. And that's what I did. I clicked it. Um, Ended up with a decent, $480 trade. Yeah, it was a lot of work. Yeah, I had to hold through this. But it was worth it in the end. Plus, I traded it smartly and took advantage of all the resources that I had in order to make this trade work. Now, I didn't make my daily goal yesterday, so this is kind of how my week looked. I didn't no trades on Monday because it was closed. The market was closed, but I got Tuesday was pretty good. Wednesday was terrible. This is the day I took that big loss. Thursday was pretty good, and then Friday, just didn't get a pulse of the market at all. But it looks like I just need to not trade on Monday because I've got a lot of zeros on Monday. But I'm not gonna let that influence me. If I get out there and I can find a good setup, a solid setup, I'm gonna take it and just continue to work on not making the mistakes that I'm making and trading like I know how to trade. So I hope everybody has a great weekend and study. I know I'm going to study. I'm putting the time in now, and we'll be ready to tackle it again on Monday morning. All right, see everybody in chat.